Hello everyone, Laura K. Buzz here, and we are back reacting to another episode of Wandering Sun, Haruro Musuka. Thank you everyone who tuned in for the first one of these. It was really lovely revisiting that first episode with other people, and it's been really nice having dialogue with people in the comments as these episodes goes up. I've been learning interesting stuff about the manga that I have not read for this, that at some point I need to read, as well as having some additional info of stuff that I just don't remember that I got wrong in the first episode that we can talk about. Um, in terms of the schedule for these uploads, first of all, YouTube seems to be being very chill about me uploading these, which is really nice. I'm going to be uploading them on alternating weeks. I have a show called Control Alt Access that goes up once every 2 weeks. The in-between weeks, I will be aiming to record new reactions to Haruro Musuka Wandering Sun. So every other week you should get one of these. YouTube will not let me monetize these, so if you want to support these happening, patreon.com/LauraKBuzz, that would be great. Anyway, let's jump in and talk about some of the things that I either got wrong or did not know from that first episode. So, first of all, this is something I just did not know from having only watched the anime, but apparently, you remember last episode where I was like, hey, Nitari, our trans femme protagonist, sure did pick the least pressuring you to be masculine friend that she could possibly have chosen. Um, if you're gonna be friends with a guy, you picked a guy who isn't gonna force chastise you for not being masculine. Well, funny thing about that, apparently, she comes out in the manga as a trans woman. So that's interesting context. I feel like I read a vibe there. I feel like I clocked something here. I clocked a vibe. Um, tells me I am correct about the kind of, if Nitari's like, I need to have a male friend for appearances, you gravitated towards another trans femme. We've all done it. We've been there. I get it. um, that makes a lot of sense. Honestly, that's a lot of really useful context for this. The show is going to be like the fact that this person eventually comes out as trans femme in the manga never comes up in the anime. Um, I'm going to I, I'm going to try and remember to refer to her as she/her, because that is context I now have. But also, none of that shows up in the anime, so we're working. I'm working out the best I can how to integrate that. But that's really interesting context, and I'm curious to see what signs there might be, or what interesting context that might bring to watching these future episodes. Now, here's the second thing. This was the scene in which Takatsuki are I was gonna say transmask protagonist. That's how I'm gonna be referring, because I've not read the manga and I'm only going off what's in the anime. I believe someone has said that Takatsuki doesn't ultimately transition in the manga. That maybe there is an implication that Takatsuki might end up like is implied might end up being non-binary or something along those lines. But for the purposes of this and for what this show represented to me watching it in a vacuum when I did, I'm gonna refer to him as Transmask for the purposes of that is as best I understand it from the anime, and maybe once I've read the manga, there'll be other things I know. But there was this scene in which this character gives Takatsuki a boys' school uniform, and I was trying to remember what the relationship of this older character was, and I guessed parent. This is not a parent. This is a trans woman who happens to know both of our main characters, which honestly makes a lot of sense out of the if I'd had a friend like you have when I was growing up, it would have made a big difference. She was very explicitly talking about if I'd had another trans person to be friends with growing up, it would have really helped. So yeah, I think that's the only two things out of episode one that people brought up. And let's jump into episode two. It was a lot of fun at first. The three of us going to school together. Yes, so this was the friend that, okay, yeah. Just Nitra and me and Takatsuki. Yeah, this is the friend that, like, was not either of our two sort of trans main characters, but who was hanging out with both of them during the photo sessions they were doing. I was I was the first to notice that Nichiri was meant to dress like a girl. Huh. Yeah, this is interesting. I like that wording. Um, meant to dress like a girl to me says this is not a want, this is a need. And recognizing like this isn't just a thing you're doing for fun, this is important. I like that wording. But I was the first to notice really feels like cis ally who takes I worked out you were trans a little too self-importantly, and maybe I'm guessing is maybe going to be a bit jealous that Nitori then started having a trans person to bond with, and that maybe took precedence over well-meaning cis friend. Yeah, before I knew it, Takatsuki was the one perpetually at his side. Again, we'll hand wave a bit of misgendering for now, but yeah, that you met another trans person who you could relate to about what you were going through, and that took precedence over me, the person who noticed first, and I am a bit jealous, I think is the vibe here. I hate. Okay, I put your sisters in there too. Okay, yeah, you're gonna have to go visit your sister with lunch. Mum didn't notice. What did Mum not notice? Also, I've tried tweaking the volume. Apologies if the volume of the show was a little loud in that first episode. In that first reaction. Hopefully it's a little better in this one. You, the girl who wore a boy's uniform on the first day of school. Oh. Who got shoved? Okay, I'm guessing this was... She said something, you know, unpleasant about your choice to wear a boy's uniform, and you fought back to be like, I am strong, I don't care what anyone thinks, I'm strong enough to, you can't tell me what not to do, which feels like a response to lack of self-confidence, but we'll see. Let's jump ahead. Cry, baby, cry. Arashina. Someone said something about her wearing a boy's uniform to school. And the person she shoved was wearing red indoor shoes. A junior. Chiba. Who is different from Chi. Chi and Chiba are two different people. I find it so hard to remember names in this show. Filth? Okay, yeah. It really feels like I'm jealous that my little pet trans femme is bonding with you, fellow trans person who can understand the shared struggle, as opposed to me, the cis person who worked it out first, and therefore my jealousy I'm going to project outwards as, you know, bigotry. I hate everyone. Despise them. They make me sick. Okay, everyone's getting assigned seating. Okay, source of conflict. Are we going to pair people up who don't want to be paired up? Oh. You're not being... Yeah, you're not being sat near... Okay. Gatsuki, Chi, and Nitori, yeah, being sat near each other, but not person who is jealous about this growing friendship. Okay, yeah, I can see where that builds some resentment. How do we decide on a leader? Okay, group project? She looks mature enough. She's kind of strange. I mean, you have to be to stand up for yourself. I think Sarashina would make a perfect leader. Very confident leader. It's funny how she calls herself Chi, though. It's kind of cute. I mean, loud, confident strength and cuteness don't have to... They can coexist, you know? Don't badmouth Chi. I wasn't trying to be rude. I just think she's weird. That's an insult. You're the one with the nasty attitude. Okay, so you can call other people, like, weirdos and freaks and filth and tell them that they make you sick. But if someone says... saying those things, it means you have a nasty attitude. That you're allowed to slap back for. Going to hit me? No. Okay, was this a prepare to hit? I thought from the cut that, like, a backhand had already happened. Change on the field, then go to PE. I ended up in a scary group. What is this smell? A bunch of boys get stuck in one place. It kind of stinks. Fun fact about transition. If you go on HRT as a trans woman, you start taking estrogen for HRT, you stop smelling of boy. That is a uniquely testosterone thing, and transitioning can just stop your body making boy smell, and it's great. Why are you changing in the corner? You a little girl? I have thoughts, one sec. Your face is all red. Oh, look at that smile. Okay, thoughts. First of all, I forget the friend's name, but it makes so much sense that she comes out as a trans woman in the manga eventually. Because not only has Nitori come over to go get changed in the corner by the wall away from all of the locker room guy energy and the boy smells, but so's her friend. As a trans person and as an autistic person, I can attest, even before you know the label for your identity, be that who you are or what diagnoses you have, you tend to gravitate toward other people like yourself. Whether you have a word for it or whether you talk out loud about what that thing you share is, you tend to flock together. And yeah, this makes sense for two not yet properly out trans femmes still kind of glowing together. But let's talk about this blush. I talked in the reaction to the first episode about how I used to get told that my eyelashes were wasted on a boy, and that was a thing that kind of upset me, in that it felt like I wasn't allowed, like, one of the few feminine things about myself. But it also kind of made me happy, in that it meant an acknowledgement of there was something kind of feminine about me that could be perceived. And as someone who got bullied a lot growing up, a lot of that bullying centered around, you know, you're weak, you're not masculine enough, you're a pussy, you're a wimp, you're too girly, you're too soft, you're too feminine, you are not doing masculinity right. And, you know, that hurt in the moment because I grew up being told that made me lesser, that it told me that I wasn't performing masculinity correctly, which was, despite everything, a thing I was striving for because I thought it was important. I thought, you know, talking personally, I thought I didn't live with my biological dad growing up, and I thought if I perform masculinity properly, maybe we could bond over that. There were reasons that being bullied for that upset me, but in the midst of it, I was also really happy. In that, again, something had been perceived in me, and it's one of those things where, like, you know, as an out public trans woman now, people who want to try and upset me will be like, "Oh, you're so obviously masculine," grr, because they know that I'm a trans woman and that they're trying to deliberately get a rise out of me. But the thing that I try and remember is, before anyone knew I was a trans woman, no one said I was too masculine, that I was too male. Before they knew how to try and target their hurt, the observation they made was that I wasn't masculine, I wasn't male, I was feminine, I was a girl. And this moment of blushing and smiling, I understand it. I relate to it a lot. We're only on the second episode of this, and I can totally see how 11 episodes of this in an afternoon got me to come out that same day. For all this show's problems, there's a lot of very relatable things happening already. If the world ended, you'd probably manage to be one of the last survivors. Interesting. Your lunch. That's Nitori's kid brother. He looks like a girl. Again, Nitori smiles. Her sister pushes her away. Because, oh god, I know that you're feminine. I know about your whole girl thing, and these friends have already recognized girl in you. I cannot have them discovering your whole thing. I need to physically push you away before they clock anything more. Seems to be the vibe. Also, I apologize in advance if at any point I mix up pronouns or gendered terms for any of our trans characters. I'm having to go back and forth between the pronouns and gendered terms that other people are using versus the ones that feel appropriate. So if at any point I just that swapping back and forth which pronoun set I'm using for a character jumbles, I apologize in advance. Your brother's cute. Shut up, I know. Yeah, I don't want to admit it or acknowledge it, or other people to understand it, but I'm well aware that he's cute. I'm angry that I can't... It feels like she's angry that she can't, like, push this whole thing away by being like, oh, you're not a girl. It's like, no, you clearly are. That clearly is right for you. And that makes it harder for me to push away. But anyway, Nitori says, I look like a girl. That's why I don't stink. You're not full of boy. Although that might just be that you haven't hit puberty yet, in which case boy stink's gonna start, and if you want to do something about it, you're gonna have to make a decision about whether you're gonna do something about it, because at some point you're gonna start smelling boy, and you have to make the choice for that to stop. Okay, there's a girl named Chiba in your class. We have to join a club. Okay, after school clubs.
美術の先生になろうとは思わなかったの？っていうかね、好きな子がいたからなんだよね。ま、そんな理由でもいいんじゃないかな。Okay, yeah, you might just join a club because someone you like is in it, for example. You're joining the basketball team. Okay, so you're going to be playing with your boys uniform wearing friend. But Siren wants me with her on the volleyball team. Sorry, Takatsuki. Why are you apologizing? I wish everyone would just get along. That is impossible. Cliques will form. People will do things that other people don't like. Chiba, have you been picking more fights with people? Cry, baby, cry. I said hello, but you ignored me.
If you'll excuse me, I'm on my way to check out a club. Yeah, you really feel like you're itching for a fight. You're trying to find excuses to pick a fight with someone. Something about not saying hello. Couldn't tell who was older there. Okay, that Sayuri Chiba's a real oddball. Again, Chi and Chiba. Oh. Is the volleyball and basketball happening in the same place? Are they happening in the same hall? So you're gonna be around the person that you kind of want to pick a fight with every day after school, despite being on different clubs. Okay. No ignoring each other's presence. And Sasa is pulled down the middle, trying not to pick sides. Which never works. Getting torn in two directions. It's sure been a while since the three of us walked home together. No, not even gonna say a word, off she goes. You're trying to hold together a friendship that clearly doesn't want to be held together right now. They got to shout it out at each other. There's clearly a big shout needs to happen. You dummies. We actually get put in the same class, but you have to act like idiots. I'm not talking to either of you anymore. Okay. You two won't make an effort, and I'm torn down the middle, so I'm running off. Could we maybe put the past behind us? Oh, no. I don't want to. You're not going to put the past behind you for her sake. You honestly hate me that much. I could ask you the same thing. Okay, at least they're talking it out. At least they're talking... Okay, at least they were talking it out. Come on. Are you still holding that against me? Oh, I thought your little brother was a girl. You thought Shu was cute, didn't you? But you look just like him. He's the one who looks like me. I think that's an important distinction for her emotionally. It's my brother looks girly. It's not that I look masculine. But also, Nitori's probably modeling her look on you to some degree because you're one of the few girls her age that she's around a lot. You know. She'd probably kill to look like you. You sure? You're always here to help me. Oh! Now we match. Oh, how did I not see... How did I not remember this? Oh yeah, no, her coming out as a trans woman in the manga after the anime ends makes so much sense. Makes so much sense. I do not remember this at all. I'm gonna be honest. When I was like 17 and watching this through for the first time, I was too overwhelmed, I think, by trans character, not a laughingstock, not a villain, just being sympathetic and saying the things and having relatable experiences. I was so zeroed in on Nitori and on what she was experiencing. The thought of, like, having another closeted trans friend just didn't even click for me. It's so obvious looking back at this, like, 15 plus years later. I am embarrassed that I did not clock this on the first watch, but also it was a different time for me. Don't you think our teacher is wonderful? What's wrong? Am I attracted to boys? Oh, but you're different. You have Takatsuki. Not like that. Okay. Okay. So this is the am I gay because I'm not ready to admit that I am a woman. A phase I'm aware of a fair few trans gals who've gone through. Cuba's got a rough life. How did I not pick up on you got your not traditionally masculine friend a matching clover pin that is your little symbol of femininity that no one can take away from you. You got her one too. How did I not see it? Okay. Okay, sister wants to go take bath first. A life that's hard to live. Yeah. You are gonna have to be okay with a life that's hard to live if you're gonna go forward. Katsuki, what's up? Okay, 9 months ago. Yoshino's room. What brings you here? I came to find out how you feel. About what? Didn't Nitori tell you that he likes you? Oh. I forced it out of him. Because I told him that I like him. Oh. You came out to Nitori. Nitori had to respond by going, I'm sorry, I like someone else. Felt forced to come out, like, to... Okay, so, not only jealousy over... I worked out you were trans first, but you're spending more time with someone else, but... I liked Nitori. Nitori likes you. You don't even, like... How is it fair? Like, I hate you because Nitori likes you, a thing I would kill for to be the case, and you don't... I hate you for not liking Nitori back. You two and your apologies. I'm so stupid. Why did I even come here? The last thing I want to see is your face. It's not fair. It's not fair to hate someone because the person you likes them, but you don't like them in that way back. It's like, that. People can't help their romance feelings. They are what they are. This is. I was gonna say it's a petty grudge. It's a teenage grudge to hold. I hate you. Really hate you. It's not fair. What am I supposed to do? I don't know. I'm only here so I can yell at you. You just said you didn't know why you came. That's another thing I hate about you. I can't force someone who hates me to like me. I didn't even do anything wrong. Shut up. Cut the crap. You're always playing the poor little victim. Yeah, this isn't the first time you've made me out to be the bad guy. Yeah, Takatsuki, I don't think you're in the wrong here. I've come here not because I want us to work this out. I've come here because I want to yell at you and make you feel bad, and you can't fix it. I'm purely here because I want to yell at you, but then if you get upset back, how dare you get upset back at me, you're the victim. Like, I wonder whether part of this is a dynamic that sometimes shows up where you will get some cis women who, when in a friendship or connection with a trans guy, will default to a bit of a position of you're man now. The dynamic has changed, and I'm the victim, and you're the mean aggressor because you're man now. And there's a lot built into that. Like, we're getting into some like community dynamic stuff here, but there is a number of cis women who will take anger out on trans men specifically because they have a lot of anger at the patriarchy, and shouting at cis men feels scary and dangerous, but shouting at a trans man feels like an easier target to get out anger at men. And I'm certainly not saying that that is all times where cis women have issues with trans men, but it is a dynamic that sometimes happens, and it's the I'm annoyed at men, and you're an easy man for me to place that on as not a big scary cis man, and it can lead to some weird dynamics. I don't know if that's what's going on here, but it reminds me of those dynamics that sometimes come up. I hate you just as much. Yeah, it's fair to say I hate you just as much. This person came to shout at you and to not tell you how to make things better. It's okay not to be chill with that dynamic.
吉野ちゃん一緒じゃなかったの？え、ごめんね。かなこ今日はずいぶん
Hanako left extra early this morning. I might have practice, but I'm not sure. I'm very sorry about this. Sasa. Yeah, she's really mad. Well, look, Sasa, I get it, but like, it's not fun being torn in two directions, but also, you sometimes just have to live with the fact that two people that you like don't like each other, and you can't, like, force. You can't hold yourself hostage for them to like each other. It's complicated. Ugh. What is it? You'd probably make up with Chiba. I don't want to go to class. That doesn't mean you should hide in the nurse's office. I got caught up in the moment and said I'm not talking to them. That's hard to pull off when we're in the same class. Just silently ignore them. My office isn't a hotel, you guys. Yeah, you two need to shake this grudge out. Yeah, practice is going to force you two to interact, or to be near each other. Let's all walk home. Together. You're not coming to practice? No. Yeah, you gotta talk this shit out. The juniors are probably watching you. It's not safe for you to be alone. Oh, it's definitely to prevent you getting beaten up by those other kids and not, you know, because... And as she spoke, that's Takatsuki stood with her back straight. What was that? Back straight as a soldier's. Let's go. This isn't a question. This is a thing that's happening. You're finding your spine. You're taking charge. You're not shying away from a fight. You're finding your confidence to face things, including people who are being shitty to you for very little reason, to stand up for yourself. Go get ice cream. Don't have any money, I'll pay for yours. Walking home from school. Walking home with my friends. Somehow, so much fun. Let's eat. What flavor did you get? Strawberry. Oh, those two. Aren't you going to eat yours? I don't have the right to be here. There you go again. It's true. Come on, talk it out. I never said hello. Oh, those kids you picked a fight with because, oh, I said hello and they ignored me, so I picked a fight. I was the one who ignored them. Oh. So yeah, you were the one who like ignored them, and then you Darvoed. You reverse the order of victim and offender. You were like, no, you were the ones who ignored me. It does sound like Takatsuki kind of had your number right. That you are someone who needs to permanently be the victim. Oopsie. You're apologizing for that, not for anything else, but you're admitting that sometimes, yeah, you might not be on the right side of things. That's something. It's an admittance. It might be the thing that breaks down the barrier a bit with Takatsuki. I genuinely don't remember if Takatsuki and Nitori end up being in any way romantic, but I think they could be good for each other. I'm curious. I remember so little of this show in advance of coming back to rewatch it and revisit it for these videos. Obviously, in terms of, like, content in this episode that, like, stands out as having been significant to me, like, 15 plus years ago, watching this and coming out, I very much think this episode's big takeaway was the, bullies trying to be like, you look like a girl, and the smile and blush in response. The content we got from what is very clearly like, yeah, there was actually quite a lot of textual evidence here of you made friends with the other not out trans femme in your classroom. And yeah, I think that's the big things that are really stood out. That smile, that you're being a girl, that's meant to be an insult, but the little blush and smile is something that I can definitely empathize with and relate to. So yeah, this was episode 2 of Wandering Sun, Aurora Musica. I will be back in 2 weeks with episode 3. We're going to do all 11 episodes of this on alternating weeks. We're going to back and forth it, so look forward to the next episode in 2 weeks. If people are enjoying this, maybe I find more reaction content like this to do after Harura Musica on the alternating weeks. I would love to do it more frequently, but the main thing is just finding time to subtitle these videos. Takes a bit of time in the schedule. But thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Feel free to keep leaving stuff in the comments that would be interesting context for me to know. I will have another episode for you soon. Bye-bye.